Super Smash Bros. Melee has this infinite space. Whereas most fighting games are very grounded, very specific about how its space can be navigated, Melee is more open. Players who have spent years studying its mechanics and are the foremost experts on it believe that it is a game that cannot be mastered. But for nearly 20 years, people have been advancing the metagame so much that, at times, it feels like so much of Melee's space is known. Combine that with the fact that, in this infinite landscape, so many of the narratives in its competitive space have been stagnant. Ken Huang, the king of Smash, who dominated the game from 2003 to 2007. The era of the 5 gods, a time when 5 top players traded tournament wins and number 1 rankings from 2008 to 2015, where, if they lost almost exclusively to each other. The period from 2013 to 2014, where Mango was the undisputed best in the world. 2015 to the summer of 2017, where Amado was this terrifying wall of a player, who not only was the best during that period, but to this day has a positive record against any player he's played against, except for 2. And Hungrybox's dominant run from 2017 to 2019, a player who has won the most major tournaments in the entirety of Melee's history. You would think in such an infinite space these narratives would be more different. Instead, it seems like Melee's story is that it is constantly in the clutches of a select player. But nevertheless, Melee's space is infinite. No story lasts forever. And these moments when the narrative shifts, where a victory upsets the established plot armor, make Melee one of the most exciting stories of all time.
That's it! He beats Hungrybox! Zain! Unbelievable, he does it! He defeats the demon that he has been so close to beating.
The first time anyone has beaten Hungrybox since Apex 2015. 3 years the sword has not found the balloon.
3.5 years of dominance in that matchup, and it comes crashing to a halt.
Fighting games have been around since the 80s, but there was a boom of fighting games in the 90s. Games like Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, King of Fighters, Virtua Fighter, and Tekken. A number of fighting games from this era have similar structures. 2 opponents on the screen, each with their own individual health bar, where the goal is to hit your opponent until their health bar is completely depleted. How you inflict damage is up to you. Regular attacks, which are performed with a single press of a button, and then there are throws and special moves. Special moves often are performed with a sequence of movement, combined with precise button presses. For example, in Street Fighter II, to perform Ryu's famous Hadouken, you hold down on the directional pad, then press down and forward together, then forward, all in a fluid motion, then hit punch. In Mortal Kombat, you perform Johnny Cage's Shadow Kick by pressing back, then forward, then hitting the low kick button. Fighting games can be a little tricky to learn if you haven't played them before.
Head stomp. That's charge down, up, and kick as if you're doing the Sonic, the splash kick. That's the one, and you'll see it in a second. Not quite.
If he can do it, Dad, what you have to push is down, right, left, triangle.
What's triangle?
This one.
What is a triangle?
Triangle's just, it's a button on the controller, that's what it is.
And it's not just learning the moves. Once you've mastered executing the moves, fighting games get much, much deeper. There are combos, there are familiar setups you can capitalize on, there are hitboxes and game mechanics to master, and then there's learning how your opponent fights and adjusting your play to take advantage of their tendencies. This creates very broad, nearly endless levels of skill, where expert players destroy beginners, and create a daunting mountain of skill new players must struggle to achieve simply to participate. These high barriers of entry are, in part, what caused game director Masahiro Sakurai to start work on a new fighting game that could lower these barriers so that anyone could play. Sakurai envisioned a game where instead of having health bars, you had a percentage score that went up as you got damaged. The higher the damage, the further you would fly away. And to make the game more accessible, he and his team used characters from popular Nintendo franchises. Super Smash Bros. Came out for the Nintendo 64 in Japan in January 1999, then in North America in April that same year. The The game went on to sell over 5 million copies worldwide. Gone was the traditional fighting game framework, which featured complex movesets for each character. Now there was one attack button and one special attack button. Press a direction, hit one of those buttons, and that's the move. There were also smash attacks, where you could hit a direction and the attack button at the same time, and your character would do a more powerful attack. Unlike traditional fighters where you simply had to damage your opponent, Smash Bros. Required you to get your opponent outside the bounding box of the map. Each stage has an invisible boundary surrounding it. As soon as your character crosses it, you lose your life, which is called a stock. Because your opponents frequently send you flying off the stage, Smash Bros. Also has recovery options. 2 jumps by pressing the jump button, and 1 special recovery by pressing up and the special attack button. You can also grab onto the ledge of certain parts of the stage as an added recovery option. I spent hundreds of hours playing Super Smash Bros. With my friends, playing 4-player free-for-all, playing teams, playing in tournaments we created for ourselves, and playing each other for money. Eventually we played the game so much that it became like those traditional fighting games where we were the expert players that destroyed beginners. There were so many nuances to the game. How to recover when you got hit, where to position yourself on a stage for safety, what hits you could turn into combos. I remember showing my brother the game and playing with him for his first time, and comboing him ruthlessly. He said, "Well, it'd be nice if I could actually move," which I'm still not proud of. Just playing Smash Bros. With my 4 friends, each new thing we would learn about the game would push our own metagame forward. I remember one guy figured out a meteor smash combo with Ness. He would jump over top of you and down smash you, pop you up, then down smash you again. Every time we discovered a new technique, we had to learn a counter to it. Eventually we figured out that throwing was a great strategy. It had a quick animation, so if you missed, you weren't vulnerable for long. And if you got a throw, you could get a combo, or a better position, or another throw off that. This meant my friends were constantly looking to throw, which forced me to use what I later learned was dash dancing. I would dash towards them, stop slightly out of grab range, dash away, knowing they were going to throw, then dash back while they did their throw animation, and grab them in return. It got to the point that, if we didn't learn how to counter these strategies, or avoid getting hit by them, we would die after the first hit. This was how we advanced our own metagame. Back then we didn't have the online resources people have now.
So that when you fall off, you grab the edge instead.
And if there were tournaments, we never found them. We were just a group of guys in a basement playing on the N64 version a little too much for a few years. We discovered a lot, but there was still so much more. This was how we advanced our own metagame. This added depth to the game was always there, and when Sakurai made the sequel, Super Smash Bros. Melee, these depths increased exponentially. Super Smash Bros. Melee came out in November of 2001 in Japan and December 2001 in North America. Sakurai wanted so much for this Smash Bros. Sequel. He wanted it to show off the capabilities of the new game system it debuted on, the Nintendo GameCube, and he wanted to exceed the fans and his own immense expectations. He worked so hard on the game that at one point he collapsed while working and had to go to the hospital. But in his drive for perfection, he ended up creating what the Melee community call a happy accident. A game that, while equally inviting for beginners to play, had a metagame that allowed the game to be played at such a high level that techniques and playstyles are still being expanded upon today, nearly 20 years later. As you progress through the game's history, there's a narrative to that metagame. But beyond that, there's a narrative to the players who participated in that metagame.
Do you think you can make a quick announcement before?
I need you to go somewhere else.
No, my
You-
controller's
seriously.
gone. I need to find it.
And I'm filming this and I can put it on YouTube.
Think about the narratives behind players in sports. Like Lamar Jackson, who broke the record for rushing yards for a quarterback in a single season. He has this skill set that allows him to create a unique offensive team. He's great at reading a play, and can either hand it off to the running back, keep it and run it himself, or he can stop and throw the ball. Some say he's redefining the quarterback position. Or look at Doncic, who has the NBA record for the most points scored in a playoff debut, and is the second youngest player in NBA history to score 40 points in a playoff game. He's a rookie, but he still sees the game multiple steps in advance. Similarly, esports like Melee have their own player narratives.
Leffen's gonna two-stock him.
Two-stock, you think so?
Leffen's so good against Sheik.
I'm gonna give it to my man.
Jason does not. I don't. This
Oh,
doesn't
you
make
said
any
win.
sense.
he's gonna two-stock him.
Win.
Yeah.
I'm getting a low percent.
You
want
want to bet?
I think Leffen's gonna win.
I'm betting
too.
with my heart.
You want to bet a hug?
I'll bet a hug.
Loser hugs the winner.
Yeah.
Mango is probably the most popular Melee player of all time. He was the undisputed best player in the world from 2013 to 2014. But his aggressive and innovative style and his swagger and charm have made him one of the most important fixtures of the Melee community.
That comeback, okay, the crowd is going nuts, and that is because everyone in the room knew that Leffen had the momentum, he had the positioning, he had the percent, he had everything in that set, and Mango stole it back.
Hungrybox is the last #1 ranked player from the old world of Melee, a time when only the best 5 players in the world, known as the 5 gods, could win tournaments. Hungrybox was the top player in 2017, 2018, and 2019. He has a very defensive style of play. He forces you into his playstyle, disrupts your rhythm, and capitalizes on it.
Like he plays to. He just waits for you to do something stupid. Yeah. And he'll play and he'll sit there at 180%. He's just like right now. Like he's like, come on, Left, come and get it.
Wizrobe is one of the best Captain Falcon players in the world. Captain Falcon is usually a hyper-aggressive, flashy character, but Wizrobe plays him more defensively and patiently. A huge portion of what Wizzy does in his game is focus on reacting to visual cues, so he's ready to follow up and attack. This more patient style of play allowed him to become the only Captain Falcon player to beat Hungrybox in an in-person tournament, and is the only Captain Falcon player to win an in-person Super Major across a 15-year period. But I think my favorite part about Wizzy is how long he makes people wait.
Wizzy is nowhere to be found, dude. Are you kidding me? You thought Wizzy was going to show up on time?
I actually did think
we
Wizzy
talked
would be
over
sitting
5
there.
slides.
I did think that Wizzy would be sitting there. Shame on me.
We got the Zain cam.
Wizrobe is straight nowhere.
Oh man.
Zain is like, where's this kid?
Zain is like, I've been waiting.
Zain's like, it's time to forfeit.
I see Wizzy making his way over to the setup.
Yeah,
Surprised
Whoever's
that
back there, whoever can hear me.
the reason why we didn't get right into the matches had something to do with Wizzy.
So man, as per the usual, Wizzy giving us lots and lots of time to wait between sets.
Yeah.
That's it.
Not yet.
He's being Wizzy. He's being Wizzy.
Oh.
He's taking his time. Stopping that momentum.
Oh my God, is he?
Westfall has
oh
such a
my
serene
God.
look on his. Oh, West.
Just taking his time.
Wes is.
Wizzy doesn't know how to make capital letters. He's freaking out right now. Isn't it R? He's like, I hella need capital W-I-Z-Y. Even with 5 characters, you know that he's not doing W-I-Z-Z-Y.
So I think Leffen does this against Wizzy, by the way, specifically against Wizzy. He spams Fox because he knows he's listening to the game sound in his headphones.
Wow.
Wait, what?
I saw him do this to him in pools. He never does this. Leffen just goes Fox, 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 Fox.
Why?
He does that to Wizzy.
You think he's trying to make him go faster?
Yeah.
Lowercase.
He's not going to do lowercase. He's freaking out, dude.
Upset. He's freaked
This
out.
is Wizrobe.
Look at the player cam. He looks upset.
We're going to see once and for all how consistent he
He's
really
not
is.
picking his tag. I actually think that this is not good for Wizzy.
Is he? He's dead now.
IBDW is a gifted, young talent that is climbing. You could argue that he is currently the second best Fox player in the world. One of his greatest accomplishments are his victories over Hungrybox, which includes a $5,000 online money match. But he has several victories over other top players in the world. His greatest flaw may be that he sometimes is a little too emotional, which, unfortunately, Melee punishes. None is insane.
Crowd loves it, take away that time. Not able to get it. He's going for it.
He wholeheartedly represents the speed, ferocity, and swagger of Captain Falcon. He uses highly technical play to maximize Falcon's movement, and relies on his conditioned instincts to exert Falcon's power.
He's got an instinct, man, which is, instinct is typically based on facts.
Right.
It's based on data that you're collecting. And I think this man is a madman at adapting and collecting info, because that's why he's the clutch master, right? You could be way ahead, And at the end, all of a sudden, he's calling everything out. It's not because he's guessing right that many times. Well, he's just got everything.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got all the data.
A fun way I heard someone describe it is, I forget who said it, but they were like, they were talking to Nun and they called tech chasing down throw guess, and Nun got mad. He's like, if you think it's guessing, you don't know anything about fighting games.
I
or something.
agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
So
you know what it is? It's conditioning.
Nun is a purist, almost a product of a traditional fighting game belief system, where certain moves are considered cheap, and there are unspoken, honorable ways in which the game must be played. He plays the game all out all the time, and for years people have been telling him that he can't play the game that way, that he's going to lose that way. In the ever-advancing narrative of consistent, safe play, Nun is one of those variables that doesn't fit the equation.
When I watch Nun, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what to believe. Anything is possible. That's what I believe. Nun just makes me go like, yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
Leffen is the original Godslayer. He became the first person in the world to defeat all top 5 players of the game during a time when they rarely lost to anyone but each other. In some ways, he's at the forefront of a prophecy that began around 2013 that said eventually Fox would be the only viable character in the game, and matches would simply be a series of optimal moves and plays.
Hacks, Aziz says this running joke about, you know in Mega Man, like in the Mega Man intro, it's like the year is 20XX.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Aziz's thing is the year is 20XX. Everyone plays Fox. And there's this whole like post-apocalyptic universe that is built off of like Fox being the only viable character left.
Yeah.
Leffen is basically a walking example of that, as he is considered the best Fox player in the world. S2J might be the most beloved Melee player.
Look at Johnny. I love looking at S2J.
I love looking at
Just like, how is it possible that a human like him exists on this planet?
Look at him. He's texting probably...
Like, is that a smile? What would you call that thing on his mouth?
S2J is one of the top 3 Captain Falcon players in the world, and is infamous for the term Johnny Stock, which is a stock where you eliminate your opponent from 0% to death. I think what makes S2J so popular is his humanity. He is amazing at the game. Even against top players, there are times when he touches you and you just die. But he seems to have a lot of struggles, especially with certain players. So it makes him more relatable than some of the top players, particularly when he does something astonishing, like almost beating the top player in the world 3-0.
No! Oh my god! SJ, are you really going to be the first person to beat Armada outside of the top 5?
What am I watching?
He's also hilarious.
Yeah, Mango always laughs about how S2J, he always, whenever he wears the headsets, he always puts like the mic down, like he's actually.
I think it's so funny.
S2J just kind of makes his little face. You know. All right.
Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Dude, he drinks his drinks like such a gangster. S2J is the best drinker.
He had a mini pop-off too and a Red Bull chug. And a water chug.
And a water.
Gotta mix it up.
We ran out of
he's
our
gonna
little
go triple?
water bottles.
Wait a minute, what is that? What's in the mystery cup?
Plup is the second person to defeat all the top 5 players in the game. Plup is also the best Sheik player in the world. As strange as this sounds, Plup is known for his ability on platforms.
Really good off platforms. Already look, he's hit me twice, both of them off the platform.
His greatest victory may have been the Super Major Tournament, Genesis 5, where he defeated Armada, one of the greatest players of all time.
For that, like to...
Oh, yeah!
He's dead! Oh my
He
god!
lightning kicks him!
Oh my god!
He's appeared a bit shaky at times in the last couple of years, but his obvious ability to beat other top players means you can never completely discount him. Especially since, as the best Sheik player in the world, he may have a slight edge over arguably the current best player in the world, Zain. Zain represents the direction Melee is going. Zain uses Marth, the quick sword-wielding fighter. Marth's sword creates a range most characters don't have, and a range with power. He's got an excellent grab and great movement options. Playing professional Melee is a high-wire act.
If Mango didn't flub his wave dash to the ledge, I think that was probably that game.
You can trace it all back to that.
Yeah.
Here we are
Wow,
on story.
dude. The tiniest little things, man. That's Melee, though. That's just how Melee is.
Players have been playing so long that the overall skill level for competitive Melee is extremely high. Players are so proficient and experienced that one mistake could cost you. And in a world where every little mistake costs you, Zain is waiting there to capitalize on them. Attacking him can be scary because you know if you get it wrong, that could be your life or stock. It's not that he doesn't make mistakes himself, but he's building consistency off your mistakes. And consistency is the ultimate currency in today's Melee. But before we talk about today's Smash Bros. Melee, we need to talk about yesterday's.
16, Hungrybox with a miraculous win in set 1 of Grand Finals.
Hungrybox is the former top player in the world. HBox uses Jigglypuff, a floaty, cute balloon Pokemon character. It may seem strange that this slow-running character that can die at relatively low percentages could be behind the best player in the world, but Jigglypuff has a number of advantages. Jigglypuff probably has the best recovery in the game. Whereas most characters get 2 jumps, Jigglypuff gets 5, which you can even extend with the pound attack. Jigglypuff has great mobility in the air, allowing it the ability to repeatedly kick an opponent off the stage. Jigglypuff also has a powerful attack called Rest, which can kill opponents at extremely low percentages, which makes Jigglypuff particularly dangerous in close matches. And finally, because Jigglypuff is so floaty, it's hard to chain grab or combo it because it's so light. Hungrybox has been playing since 2007, but it wasn't until 2016 that his true dominance began to emerge. In fact, he became so dominant that for a few years, I would check YouTube to watch the grand finals of a tournament, see HBox, then skip ahead to see if his opponent beat him. Most of the time, they didn't. Hungrybox is one of the most divisive players in Melee's history. His defensive playstyle and overall prowess make him a unique obstacle. Because Fox is the best character against Jigglypuff, most top players, even those who primarily use other characters, have a Fox that they use exclusively for Hungrybox. And because top-level Jigglypuff players are so rare, and Hungrybox typically doesn't play practice matches with other players, it was not uncommon for a top Jigglypuff player, Prince Abu, to be flown out to tournaments where HBox was present, just so top players could warm up.
How much is he paying Prince Abu? That's
How much
the real
does Prince
question.
Abu? I think Prince Abu deserves like at least 15.
Yo, I think he deserves a cut.
Rather than seeing this as a point of respect for Hungrybox's ability to win, it seems like HBox is not just an obstacle, that he's in the way. He's in the way of other players that fans would rather see win.
Mango.
Oh, building so much percentage.
And suddenly,
Oh!
God, dude, that was
Not quite
so
spaced.
Okay, you couldn't. Oh, wait, that's it.
He's in the way of Melee being played in an aggressive, exciting way. He's in the way of players using the characters or strategies they want, favoring instead a kind of slow, back-and-forth defensive game. A large portion of the Melee community cheers against him, or outright vilify him, something Hungrybox has had to deal with for years. And despite this hate towards him, or perhaps in part because of it, one of Hungrybox's greatest assets is his mentality.
It's probably unhealthy, but I treat every single game here like life or death. Yeah. Like I treat it like there's a revolver behind my head and I have to win.
He has such a great ability to force his opponent into his own rhythm. He has such patience and resilience that he often comes back in situations where he's down, earning him the nickname Clutchbox. If you're in a last game, last stock situation with him, there's often a sense that a Hungrybox victory is a foregone conclusion. But gods don't live forever. No player stays on top indefinitely. And there becomes this fervor, even amongst Hungrybox's detractors, to keep watching Melee to see him finally lose. And it's in this potential idea that players like Hungrybox could be defeated that the excitement of Melee's story lies.
Pop wins Genesis 5! Oh my God, the crowd!
Which brings us to Zain. Perhaps Zain's best attribute is that he's a fast learner.
I remember playing with Zain at Summit, and we played a lot of friendlies and we talked about the game, and I feel like whenever I mentioned something, he instantly tried to incorporate it into his game.
Zain started playing competitively in 2014.
Uh-oh, this is a bad situation for chilling. Zain doesn't walk forward. You have to be right on the edge for the counter to hit.
Goes for the Marth killer, but Smash God knows how to get around it. There we go. 173%, again, way too much. He had a couple of opportunities there to close it out, but just wasn't able to do it.
He caught his jump with it.
Crazy.
That's not what he wanted. That's too bad.
And no matter his setbacks, Zain worked hard.
3 months ago, Zain was good, but he was nowhere near that good. He's gotten very good very quickly, and wow.
Yeah, he has. He's definitely been in the lab.
One of his first big wins came in 2016 when he beat Plup, the number 6th ranked player in the world at the time. And then the 6th ranked player in 2017, Leffen. There's a unique relationship between spectators and the underdog. In some ways, it's just defying expectations. We expect the better player to win, and when they lose, there's a brief moment where there's this freedom. For the moment when the upset happens, the established, expected, boring way the world is supposed to be shatters, and anything is possible. In that moment, we share in the underdog's success, because if this freedom exists, if they can do this, maybe we can do this. As Zain's star continued to rise, he finally encountered Hungrybox. In a typical Melee tournament, the top 64 players play each other in a best-of-5 games, with 4 stocks apiece. In 2017, Hungrybox beat Zain 3 times, each time 3 games to 0, which continued into the start of 2018. But then at Smash and Splash 4,
Oh, he catches him off of the jump. Oh, that was so smart. He knows Zane's one of the Zane's. Oh, Jesus, I'll talk about this later. What's going on?
Such a lingering hitbox. How is Zain gonna finish it off?
He's got to. He has no choice, man. No.
Oh, the reverse. Oh, he got him. Zain, holy shit. Oh my God.
Zain took his first game from Hungrybox. Then at Shine 2018,
Barely. Oh my God. Every hit is getting him so close to that zone where a grab is going to kill, and you see Zain calm, staying back a little bit, trying to find the aerial before he whiffs, or not whiffs, puts out the grab, and now he's there.
One more grab. One more grab until Zain fells another god.
He's already beaten Mango. He's already beaten Plup. Can he beat Hungrybox? He's so close. And you see him. Oh, there's the grab. That's it. That's it. He beats Hungrybox.
Zain beat him twice.
That much juice left in his stock. He crouches for dear life, and he gets the other. That's insane. Zain wins Shine. I can't believe it. Zain does it.
And a rivalry began. Hungrybox had a true competitor for the throne. The pressure he felt was undeniable, as we saw in his victory over Zain at Smash Summit 7.
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
And Hungrybox managed to fight off Zain a few more times. At POW 2019.
Oh, but he has these! No.
At Lower Tier City 7.
Oh no! Wow!
It's the wrong way. I don't believe it of all the ways for the tournament to end.
And Hbox with a huge losers run.
And Super Smash Con 2019. But it was still close. 3 games to 2, 3 to 1. Zain responded back with 2 separate victories at Come to Papa 3. And it became clear, if Zain and Hungrybox were going to meet each other in a tournament, the outcome was no longer certain. When Zain and Hungrybox entered Genesis 7, Zain continued to rise.
Dodge moves. If he's hitting Falcon, then he can just tipper him off stage.
Well, he's maintaining the composure.
Oh, yeah.
Still in control. Oh, and that is a filthy mix-up.
And Hungrybox continued to exert his dominance.
Forward approach.
But
yeah,
that's tough.
that'll do it.
No need to force it.
Oh, this could be it.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow. The cameraman knows. He's like, yeah, that's it.
That was it.
And the two met again in the winter semifinals.
Step back here. That should be it. Is it? Is it? Oh, not quite. Is it chilling? Chilling, is it? Oh, insane with the amazing DI. What's happening? He's still living for now. Surely he's not going to live again.
He lives again, and he gets the up smash. And look at the pop-up, the mid-set pop-up.
It's amazing. And even a throw right now could potentially lead to that kill, depending on the spacing, but...
dude.
Sounds are a lot closer than most of the other neutrals. So, wow, that's a big answer from Hbox, actually. Smash in the neutral, turning it around.
on HBox.
If there's and he gets the up air.
What
60%. Staying grounded. See, if he wasn't grounded, that up air would have got a wreck. And he misses it. That's the set. That's the set. Zain does it.
3-1 over HBox.
Zain beat HBox in 3-1, sending Hungrybox to the loser's bracket, where Hungrybox had to get through Fiction.
Right.
Oh, and that's it. Up throw rest.
There it is.
A close set against Hack's Money.
Cheers, because he may have picked up. Yeah.
Oh, can we kill him? You need to DI that one.
There it is.
And another close set against Mango.
79%. This is.
And that's the.
Setting up Hungrybox Zain Grand Finals.
Big edge cancel downer in the back there. That was actually really slick from
Again, Tove, you were saying HBox getting hit by the up B is kind of just like, there it is.
That was.
I wonder if his game plan at this point is just like, don't do, the things that are obvious. Because Zain is just like,
whoa.
All tied up.
All tied up.
Look at HBox. Oh, that's going to be tournament stock. Game 5.
For the reset.
For the reset and for 2020, the clean slate of Melee. Will it be new blood taking us into the next decade? Or will Hungrybox continue his reign across the 2020 world line divide? Adrenaline pumping through these players' bodies must be insane.
Tried to catch him with the up air, going real high.
Oh, that's gonna be it! Zain! And Zain takes Genesis 7!
Zain's win at Genesis 7 almost felt like Zain was announcing that the old world of Hungrybox dominance was over, and Zain's reign was about to begin. As the world went into lockdown and Melee tournaments moved online, Zain seemed nearly unstoppable. First at Pound Online, first at LACS 2, first in the Slippy Champions League weeks 2, 3, and 4, and first at Smash Summit 10 online. Sometimes the only reason he would place poorly is because he used a much worse character, though similar to Marth, Roy. But even then, he came in first with Roy in the smaller online tournament, Rona Rumble.
No.
If you were to break Melee down into a series of minigames, Zain has mastered them all. Capitalizing off your mistakes? Zain's got it. Keeping your opponents off the stage when they fly out there? Zain's your guy. Read what your opponent is going to do and adapt your combos to it? Zain. Playing the game safe, so that you only attack from a position of safety to minimize the chance of somehow being taken advantage of? Zain. And whereas previous sets with Hungrybox were close, 3-2, online it seems, Zain is dominant, winning 3-0 in 2 separate games. Like a lot of players before him, Zain may be the new king of the mountain. He's playing so well that players can't quite figure out how to get around him.
I can't get around him!
Which brings us back to Mango. Mango has a greater importance to Melee. As a player, Mango is so aggressive and so innovative. If he's playing well, there's a sense he cannot be beaten. It's the kind of style a portion of the Melee community wants to see for their game. Smash Bros. Melee was meant to be a party fighting game, but evolved into this brutal, fast-paced, highly technical fighter, where innovation, style, speed, swagger, and aggression, anything that creates exciting gameplay, is praised.
Oh! 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 Somebody! Oh yeah, yo!
In a way, Mango helped pioneer that appreciation of the game. Perhaps his greatest rival in Melee history was Armada.
What a scary, horrifying monster
that was
of a Melee
nuts.
player.
Armada was a creature of terrifying precision and consistency. His skill, combined with his ice-cold mental game, made him the unstoppable champion of the game from 2015 to the summer of 2017. More than anyone, Armada represented the charted space in Melee. The known setup, the known punish. He's just a brick wall.
He literally finds the pixel that is max height double jump up air for Marth, and he floats like the pixel over it to bait Marth into doing it and punish. I asked him, how did you get that hit? And he said, oh, I floated there at that exact spot to bait Marth into doing exactly what he did and then punish him. I practiced this. Wow.
Using science-based approach to the game. Input this, factor in that, and I have you. The rivalry began at Genesis 1. when Armada pushed Mango, then the best player in the world, to the brink. For the next 3 years, Genesis became a part of their story. Always the grand finals would be Mango Armada. Their rivalry almost represents the struggle of Melee. Is it going to become this grind-heavy, calculated esport where only the most dedicated and most mentally strong players thrive? Or is there always going to be something in that infinite space for possibility, innovation, and surprise? In some ways, Zain feels similar to Armada. The discipline, the training, the safe approaches, the strong punish game, the consistency. It feels like we're witnessing the beginning of Armada 2.0's reign. And again, standing in the way of this calculated, defined style of the game is Mango. From 2013 to 2014, Mango was the unrivaled best player, but every year since has been up and down. 5th at EVO 2015, 1st at Super Smash Con 2016, 4th at Smash Summit 5, 65th at Super Smash Con 2018.
How's it going?
It's been better. It's been better.
His lowest place finish up to that date. And 4th at Low Tier City 7. Going into the Big House 9, Mango had seen 2 first-place finishes in the last 2 years. And as is common in Mango's tournament narrative, he ended up in the loser's bracket.
Right? Breakbox catch. Oh, the shine! He's not.
Oh, not missing his turnaround. That's so huge for Hungrybox. He had such momentum going. He was cooking.
He was cooking.
But when you miss something like that, it just changes the cards. It changes the flow of the game.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna do it.
Hungrybox was going for a forward smash.
Hbox, I mean, such a stellar player. He commands such respect that we talk about him like he is the guy to beat right now. He is the lone titan that feels like at any given moment he should just be ranked #1.
I know.
A bit of Ryan Ford in his life. Yeah, playing super conservative. Oh no, and Mango, that's 2 SDs.
Yeah,
over toward the right side of the stage.
2-1 versus Mango. Mango on his tournament game.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Mango reeling back in his chair a little bit. I think it's dawning on him, you know, the severity of the situation.
Yeah, wow, Mango.
Is this going to be the tournament of a lifetime for Fiction? Will he beat 4 top 10 players at this one event?
Oh, the spacing not quite there for Fiction. Mango beating it out. Kind of clobbering him right now. Bouncing him back and forth, okay.
He's coming back. Big back airs.
Meters.
That's
going to do it, Fiction.
Somehow, Mango pulls it together at the very, very end. This is actually a pretty crazy loser's run so far by Mango, and being up a stock here, I feel nothing short of shocked.
Yeah, that is absolutely
the case. Fiction set, after the first set between these guys, what are you doing here, Mango, is a question I'm asking.
He down to this Johnny Kim's bug.
This could hurt.
Oh, this could really hurt. Oh, yeah, he's done. He is out of there. He doesn't need no more of it. Mango is going to advance to grand finals.
Tope, what is Mango doing here?
Mango fought his way to grand finals with Zain. Coming from the loser's side, it meant that he had to beat Zain in 2 sets of best of 5. Mango doesn't believe in one-set option. He believes that you can do anything you want in the game. That every situation, even if you think you've seen it a million times, is always a little different. And in that little difference, you can do something else. This belief, this mentality, is what makes Mango the player he is. What makes him use this infinite space in so many unique ways. Like how he sometimes manipulates space after he jumps. At times he'll full hop forward, then drift back. It's a playful bait. It says, hey look, I'm here. No wait, I'm over here. As Zain and Mango get into their set, there's this sense, this fear, this expectation. Zain can't be beaten right now. Look at him. As usual, Mango is struggling. Zain is just too good.
Like he's really showing that his recovery mix-ups are second to pretty much none.
It's Zain just dunking on him.
Probably inadvertently and got an air dodge. Both players getting a little bit of a gift from the melee gods, but Zain throws out the forward smash. That's it! Zain takes game 3!
But there's this hope.
It's pretty brutal. Oh, the escape, he's out of there. Look at that edge cancel side B.
Peace.
Yeah, that was peace. Mango all over Zain. Oh my God.
the old world of Melee, the Melee that embraced innovation, that embraced this infinite space of possibility.
Mango dash attacking into the corner. Are you kidding me?
And Zane's waiting
the forward
there.
smash! And that's gonna do it!
Set 2!
That it will break free from an era of precision, set punishes, and ice-cold mentality.
Brings a tear to my eye, Toph. He said it to me last night. He said, I feel like there's so much more Melee to be played.
For Melee, Mango is the fire that threatens to burn through all that. That signpost to other players that says, this game is infinite, and we can do whatever we want. That there are no set narratives to any story, and that even when they rise, eventually, they will fall. That in Melee, anything is possible.
Oh, what was he looking for? That could not have been intentional. Maybe looking for a wave dash back into that, and Mango with all the stage presence, Zain, no jump!
That there are so many more options out there, just waiting to be grasped. Because there's so much more Melee to be played.
Well, my water is kind of in front of the screen right now, so let me move it slightly over here. And so I did that, and then M2K laughs, and then he moves my water back over here. I'm like, that's grimy, man. And then while I was laughing about him moving my water back, he tippered me through the tree.
I knew he was going to tipper you
He
through the tree.
tippered me through the tree. I was like, oh my goodness.